So many small businesses don't actually fail because the owner lacks drive. No, they failed because the owner tries to play superhero for way, way too long. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally holds countless incredible entrepreneurs back. We're talking about that massive fundamental identity shift from doing every single thing yourself to actually building something that lasts. We're going to break down exactly how to make that leap from a solo hustler into a true business builder, covering who to hire, what to pay them, and how to manage them without losing your mind. All right, let's jump right in.
So, I want you to answer this honestly. If you just stopped working right now for 7 days, what happens to your business? Seriously, does it completely collapse? Does it grind to a halt? This is what we call the 7-day survival test. And man, it is the ultimate reality check. If your business stops the second you step away, you're way too involved. It basically means you aren't running a scalable business yet. You're running a personal hustle, powered entirely by your own sweat. And hey, if that test makes you a little uncomfortable, good. You are exactly who this explainer is for. Okay, let's dive into this and break this huge challenge down into a super clear roadmap. We're looking at the solo hustler bottleneck, knowing when to hire, finding your first employee, paying and training smart, and finally, managing your growing team. No fluff, no complicated theories, just real-world business sense.
All right, part one, the solo hustler bottleneck.
This right here is for all the everyday entrepreneurs out there. The market traders and logos who literally can't expand because there's nobody else to watch the stall. The students in Accra building these awesome online businesses but completely collapsing from burnout. Or the crypto investors in Abuja turning what should be massive opportunities into just pure stress. Listen, hiring isn't just about getting a tiny bit of help. It's a total mental shift. See, as a solo hustler, you are the business. You get tired, the business slows down. Simple as that. But as a business owner, you step back. You start guiding others and thinking in systems rather than just raw effort. A lot of us really struggle here because delegating kind of feels like losing control. But actually, scratch that. You aren't losing control at all. You're expanding your capacity to grow.
Because look, if you don't expand that capacity, you become the absolute biggest bottleneck in your own business. It's true. By insisting on doing every little thing yourself, you lose precious time for actual growth. You lose customers because, let's face it, you can't reply fast enough. You lose your energy to burn out, and you completely miss out on bigger opportunities because you're stuck doing tiny, repetitive tasks. Now, I know the fears. You're thinking, but what if it costs too much? Or what if they mess up? Or maybe your biggest fear is just that they won't fold the shipping boxes exactly the way you do it. But remember, the goal here isn't perfection. The goal is improvement and support, so your business can finally truly scale.
Moving right along to section 2, knowing when to hire. Now, you shouldn't just go out looking for some vague helper, hoping they'll magically cure all your stress. You have to pinpoint and solve your specific bottleneck. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. If your customers are waiting hours for a simple DM reply, your bottleneck is communication. So what do? You hire a customer chat handler. If you're out there so busy delivering goods that you don't actually have time to sell, you hire a logistics assistant. Stockroom is a total mess, get an inventory manager. You need to identify the exact thing that is stopping your business from moving faster right now and let that exact answer tell you who your very first hire needs to be.
Which brings us to section 3, finding your first employee.
Okay, here is a hard truth we all need to accept. Friendship absolutely does not equal responsibility. When you're choosing this person, you've got to remember the golden rule of hiring. Skills can be taught, but character cannot. You want someone who is genuinely willing to learn, who is reliable, and honestly, someone who's brave enough to just admit when they've messed up. You don't need some highly overqualified expert who's going to refuse to take direction. And you definitely don't just need your cousin who happens to be looking for a quick gig. Seriously, always start simple and hire for character first. So, how do we find this amazing character? Well, you use the smart hiring formula. Do not skip these steps, or I promise you, you're risking some serious disappointment. Step 1 is referral. Look into your trusted networks, or hey, even ask your most loyal customers. Step 2 is absolutely vital, the trial period. Never, ever hire someone directly without a 3 to 14-day test run. And then step 3, observation. During that trial, totally ignore their big talk. Just watch their actions. Are they constantly rolling in late? Are they making a million excuses? People's actions will always prove who they really are. All right, on to section 4, paying and training smart. Listen, mismanaging money and giving terrible training are pretty much the two fastest ways to completely destroy a brand new working relationship. That is exactly why you have to follow the 30-day survival rule. What's that? Basically, never ever pay an employee more than your business can survive without stress for 30 days. Think about it. Even if sales suddenly drop, even if a client delays a payment, you still have to be able to comfortably pay this person. Their salary has to come from the business's consistent capacity, never ever from your personal emotions or sympathy.
And once you figure out that safe number, you need to structure it smartly. We've got 3 main types. Daily payment is fantastic for irregular, short-term work. Think market assistance or temporary delivery help. Weekly payment gives you this great flexibility for consistent work, which is super popular for online businesses that are still scaling up. And then you have monthly payment. Save that for your stable, clearly defined, and structured operations. Just remember, you're paying based on their responsibility and their actual impact on your business, not based on your personal feelings toward them.
Okay, so they're hired and getting paid. But remember, literally nobody comes fully ready on day one. It's your job to make them useful. And you can do that with this foolproof, simple 4-step training method. First, show. You do the task while they watch. Second, do together. They try it out while you gently guide them and correct mistakes. Third, do alone. Let them fly solo while you just observe. And finally, repeat. Just keep doing it to build up their confidence and speed. Look, you have to expect mistakes. They are a totally normal part of the learning curve. Just correct them calmly and you will watch their confidence absolutely skyrocket. And finally, Section 5, managing your growing team. Now, keeping a team running smoothly when you've literally never managed a single person before, yeah, that can feel incredibly daunting. But I want to completely reframe your mindset right here. Most employee problems are not actually caused by laziness. Nope, they're caused by confusing instructions. You don't need to be strict, you need to be clear. Think about it. Telling someone, hey, be serious with customers, is super vague. It leaves way too much room for guessing. But saying, reply to all messages within 5 minutes, that is a clear, measurable metric. Barking at someone to work harder means absolutely nothing. But saying, I need you to process 20 orders by noon, sets a tangible goal. Clarity literally wipes out excuses. And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway from our source material today. Management is not control. Management is making sure work happens correctly without you doing everything yourself. A good manager isn't someone standing over an employee's shoulder shouting at them. Instead, they use clear, daily communication. We're talking a quick morning check-in, maybe a little afternoon update, and an evening review. And above all, they use respect. Genuinely respecting your team, showing appreciation for their effort, and correcting them calmly, that is how you build massive, long-lasting loyalty. As you start to master all of this, you'll naturally climb what we call the growth ladder. You move from stage 1, which is just you, completely alone and overwhelmed, to stage 2, where you finally get one helper and drastically reduce your physical workload. Then stage 3, you start distributing work to 2 or 3 people. Stage 4 introduces defined roles, so everybody knows exactly what their job is. And then, finally, the holy grail, stage 5, a fully systemized business that runs on solid structure rather than running on your daily stress. That is the ultimate destination, where having a team actually gives you true freedom. So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative question. Are you building a hustle or are you building a system? Because getting your very first employee isn't just about hiring a helper, it's about completely transforming your identity. You got to stop doing every single thing alone. Find your specific bottleneck, hire for character, train them with tons of patience, and manage them with crystal clarity. It is officially time to step up and become the business builder you were always meant to be. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you feel completely empowered to go out there and take that very first step.